Now we want to start to make a city with 2-point perspective. So to begin, just like we have in all of our other lessons, we are going to start with a horizon line in the middle of our paper. And so I'm going to draw a light horizon line. I'm going to put my vanishing points at the ends of my line, right here and right here. Now what I'll do is I'm going to decide where I want the road to be first. And the easiest thing to think about with the road, and I like this example best, is we're gonna keep our road we're gonna have 2 roads coming towards each other right here. And so what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna actually start with a dot. My dot is going to connect back to my vanishing point. This is going to be one side of my road. So this is kind of where the 2 roads meet almost. We're also going to add a sidewalk here in a few minutes. But let's do the road first. Okay, now I could actually, if I wanted to, I could have the other side of my road actually showing on my paper, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take this vanishing point, decide kind of what angle I want this line to be at. Now here I could put a sidewalk, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. You don't have to, it just kind of depends on what angle you want your road to go at. Now remember that when things go back in perspective, they get smaller and smaller and closer together. And so what I'm going to start off with is I'm putting my lines. They're going to travel back to my vanishing point. And I'm just going to start with a line to begin with. These lines are going to get shorter and closer together as I get closer to my vanishing point. In fact, probably close to the end, they're almost going to look like one line. Now, really, I want to make these not 3-dimensional, but I want to give them some width so that when I color them in, then they'll look nice. Now, the line on the other side of this stripe, so this is the yellow stripe that goes down the road. So these 2 lines go parallel back to this vanishing point. The top and the bottom are actually going to go back to the other side vanishing point. So what I'm going to do to close these little yellow lines, make sure my ruler is connected to my vanishing point, and then I'm just simply drawing in the lines going back to the other side. Okay, so I will continue to do that real quick. Now, we want to do the same thing on this side, but reverse. So again, I'm going to start with my lines going down the middle of the road. I do one side first. Remember, we are intentionally trying to make them smaller as they go back to the vanishing point, just like that. And then I'm going to add the same, make sure I've got the same width here as I'm starting with on the other side, otherwise it will look a little strange. Now this side, again, I want to go to the opposite side vanishing point, and I'm going to just simply bring this So there we've got our road now in 2-point perspective. Now, what we want to do is we want to put in a sidewalk. So remember that sidewalks are three-dimensional. They're raised from the road and they stick up a little bit. So essentially what we're making is a really long rectangle. Now, we've already got the bottom part of our sidewalk of our rectangle. So all I'm going to do is from this corner, I'm going to decide how tall I want my sidewalk to be, which I don't want it to be super tall. So here, if you remember back to 1-point perspective, we started with a corner and this line, we take the top and the bottom back to the vanishing points, and then we take, we've already taken the bottom back. Now we just have to take the top. Now what's different about a sidewalk is going to be deciding how wide we want the sidewalk to be and then ending it with different lines. So what I'm going to decide is I want my sidewalk to be probably about this wide to start with. So I'm going to actually take my corner here, and I think I'm going to put a little dot here. Could actually take a ruler to make sure that it's in line with it. And then this little corner is going to go again back to both sides vanishing points. Okay, just like this. Now, in order, you know, sidewalks usually have lines on them where the concrete, where they put dividers in the concrete, basically. And so what we want to do here, I'm going to do something. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm actually going to extend to the first line here. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to extend it to the first line here. Okay, so this is kind of a corner. Now, to end that, from that little corner right here, I'm actually just going to go straight up and down, just like this. The side is going to go straight up and down. It's following or mimicking my beginning line right here. And now to put in the rest of the lines on the sidewalk, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to, between these two lines right here, I'm going to angle that back to my vanishing point, and then I will go straight up and down on the side. Okay, so let's do that all the way here, remembering that things will get closer together and smaller as we go back into space. Then I take my ruler, making sure that you can judge it against the side of the paper to help make sure that you're going straight up and down. So now we're going to do this side over here. Okay, and I'm going to follow the same method as I did this, but on the other side. So what I want to do is put my vanishing point lined up with my sidewalk right here, and I will begin to put in the sidelines. So to put in these, the little sidelines, again, I'm just going to make sure that my ruler is parallel to the side of my paper so that it mimics this very beginning line right here. Right, that is how you do a road and a sidewalk. I could also do a sidewalk over here if I wanted to. Because of the placement of the line here, I would not see the front of this. I would really only see the top of the sidewalk. I wouldn't see any of the side. Now, what an easy thing that I could do would be, I could put my vanishing point and ruler on the same lines that I used right here and just extend those. And that would really just be the easiest thing to do. And it'd also keep it nice and consistent with the sidewalk that I just drew. Same thing on this side. Take my ruler and just extend these lines here.